Hi everyone. So the topic of today's discussion is tourism. Let's see what are we going to learn. We'll see what is tourism and then we'll try to understand that what is the contribution of tourism to the national economy of a country, and then what are the different categories of types of tourism, and what are different UN WTO provisions for tourism, and we'll see some index about it too. So let's go forward. When we say the word tourism, the most simplest things in our mind come that when we go to some other place away from our home and we enjoy there, it away from our home, and we mainly go with friends or families, and it's kind of a tour. We say that we are going on a trip or we are going on a tour. So these all the things come under tourism. So tourism refer to the activities and process that involve spending time away from home in pursuit of recreation, which means enjoyment or pleasure you want to have, being away from your home or being away from the similar sort of environment you are living in for so many days. Relaxation from taking a break from work or from college or from anything you are doing in which you are getting burned up, or you're feeling like you're doing it for too long, so you go there for relaxation and pleasure. Of course, we all enjoy there and we like going to different places because it is, we find different type of food there, different type of clothes, and so but I like, it's mostly about enjoyment. We rarely hear people that they went for a tour, and they went for a tour because they didn't like it there and they like it more at the home. So mostly tourism is associated with the feeling of joyousness, and a delightful feeling is associated with tourism. And in contemporary times, when social media is so prevalent, everybody's posting pictures about where they've been in this summer or at this weekend. Tourism became a more talked about thing nowadays. Hence, along with recreation, it also ensures the use of provision of commercial services. So when we talk about recreation, and I'm saying that I want to have some recreation and I'm so tired with my job and it's so tough that I want to go for relaxation, and that, like, it naturally means that I'm going to use some services there and I have to make a budget for my trip too. People, do budgeting for their traveling and how much they can spend on traveling around the world. So which means that you are definitely going to use the provision of commercial services. You will book your ticket in the flight or in the train, or you'll book a cab, and you definitely are going for a trip. You'll love to shop new things for the place where you are going, and also other essentials. So which means you're going to take provision of, use of provision of commercial services as well as good. So different categories of people, for example, a student can be going on a trip, or it can be a business trip when business people go for some summits going on, or for some discussions, some type of like, our politicians go for various G7 summit invitation or Republic Day invitation in other countries. So these are the trip, these are also a part of tourism. Then influencers, vloggers, which is in very trend nowadays. People go to different places and then they vlog and they post it on social media. And this is how different categories of people, different purpose. Some people go for educating themselves and to know about the different culture. Some people just go for to increase their social media engagement. Some people just go for recreation to take a break from their busy life. So we go touring around the country, cities, or nowadays local area tourism, which means you go to different villages. Even in India, village based tourism is promoted very seriously nowadays, because villages have such different culture that coming from urban areas or metropolitan cities, and engaging in that village life for 2 3 4 days, it gives a lot of satisfaction and a stability and a peaceful feeling in your life. So this is about the different categories of people and different purposes for which people are going for tourism. Then it is different from exploration, because when you go for exploring something, it's kind of less planned, because you're exploring, you want to have a first encounter with that thing at that particular place, and you don't want to plan that thing. But when we go for a trip or a tour, we plan a lot of things, like we even decide what are we going to eat on what day, where we are going to stay. We did the advance booking thing which happens, pre-booking thing which happens. So that's how it is different from exploration. And from pilgrimage it is different, as when we talk about pilgrimage it is mostly related to spiritual or religious purposes. Tourism is sometimes related to religious purposes, not always. So tourism can be a part of pilgrimage, but pilgrimage is a separate category. It cannot be subsumed under the word tourism in a wholesome manner. So that's the difference. Now, it is prevalent for ages. It's not like we just started traveling 20 days back, or suppose 20 years back, or 200 years back too. It was prevalent since like even 2000 years before, during Magad Empire, and during Maurya Empire, in which we have King Ashoka, and after that even during Harshvardhan era, Harsha era, which we call as, and even Gupta Empire. There are a lot of like Fahin, which came during Chandragupta II, and then we have Hinseng, which came during the time of Harshvardhan when he was ruling Kannauj and all areas. So this is also a form of tourism. They used to come and study in Takshila and Nalanda University. Then they used to write their travelogues, not vlogs, sorry. So travelogues, and these became also a very important part of history. Through them, we also constructed our ancient and medieval history. And during medieval history also, like we have Ibn Battuta, we have Al-Biruni, these type of people who used to come for education or for exploring purposes. It is also a little bit part of tourism, but that time it was not that relevant that every families are going for tour, and nobody used to go so frequently. They used to go to a place, they used to stay there for 1 or 2 years, then they used to come back. But nowadays it's not like that. We just decide on weekend where we want to go, we take holiday, and then we go and then we come back. Every month people are planning holidays nowadays. So that's why tourism is happening on a mass scale nowadays. If we talk about it on a like mass tourist we have nowadays, so that's why it is different from contemporary era. And why it happened? Because of globalization. Services became globalized, goods became globalized, the borders became interconnected. We had different development of modes of transportation. Like we have not only railways or roads, we are easily connected through airways, and we just have to take a flight, and in 10 hours we will be in some other continent, even less than that. So these are the things which enhances the tourism and which promotes it, which makes it easy. It was not possible to imagine going to a different continent altogether and just coming back from there after 4 or 5 days, but that's possible nowadays. And again, increased affluence in society. Of course, if we say it in a very simple word, the society is rich nowadays. Lots of people, even